Good morning, friends. Welcome to our extended lockdown online training webinar series. So today is 5th day in our training series, and today we are going to discuss the important concept called arrays. So before going to this topic, can you please post your department as well as batch so that I will come to an idea how deep I can go into this topic. So in the meantime, there are few queries in the comment section about the yesterday's webinar. It was stopped after 1 hour due to technical issue. So we have recorded the remaining part of the webinar that will be merged and uploaded along with the yesterday's webinar series. So that will be done after this webinar, so you can watch the entire number system 2 in the same link which we have provided already. So that will be uploaded in the channel later. So can you please tell us where to take the assignments or practice test? So these assignments and practice test is available in your portal. If you are an Examly customer, so it will be available in your portal directly. So you can access the test from 4 PM to 6 PM every day. So if you are not Examly customer, we have given the description. We have given the quarantine combo pack in the description link. You can use that link and purchase a package with a discount of 50% to take the test. So many students have started to post their department as well as batch. So most of you are from 2021 batch, and many of you are not posting the batch. You are posting only department: mechanical, EEE, EI, CSC, automobile, biotechnology, computer science, ECE, CSC. So I guess many of you are from 2021 batch, that is, you are all going to final year, and the department starts from biomedical engineering, biotechnology, chemical, mechatronics to computer science, IT, MCA, etc. So I think it's kind of mixed audience in terms of department. Okay, so we'll just wait for a few more minutes so that many students will be joining in the session. We'll start session in another 1 or 2 minutes. Also, we have created the events for next 15 days. So if you go through our channel playlist or channel homepage, you could see the events for next 15 days. So if you want to cover in a specific area in that particular topic, you can post your question in the comment section itself, so that our team will go through that comment section before starting video, and will come up with a solution for that questions. So I suggest you to post your queries before the session. So we have created the events for next 15 days. So do this after this webinar is over. Okay, so in today's session, we will be starting the basics of arrays, and then we will move up to how to handle arrays with pointers. We will be discussing on basics of arrays, and we'll discuss some of the questions which is frequently asked in the campus interviews, and then we will discuss the pointer concept and how to handle this pointer with arrays. So this is the plan for the day, and then we will be handling strings in our next technical session. So in our previous technical session, we have discussed branching and loopings, and many students have asked questions in branching and looping. We will be discussing that question also in today's webinar. After that, we will be moving to arrays topic. Okay, so it's a time to start, and in today's webinar we are going to discuss the following 3 major points. So first we will be starting with the questions which was asked in our previous webinar, like the simple differences like I++, what is the difference between I++ and ++I, int main and void main. So like this we will be discussing the few difference between questions, and then we will be discussing on the major concept for the day: arrays, why we need to go for the arrays, and what is arrays, how to use these arrays, what is index, what is size, how to handle 1-dimensional, 2-dimensional or multi-dimensional arrays, and then we'll be moving to arrays along with the pointers. We'll be discussing on pointer arithmetic also, and then we'll be discussing some of the useful resources along with the frequently asked MCQ questions as well as programming questions in terms of IT service requirements. Okay, so first let's start with the questions asked in the previous webinar. So many students have some doubts related to these three main differences. So if you are attending any campus interview and if you are sitting in front of technical interviewer, you may get any of these questions, or sometimes they may ask you to explain these in a clear way. So first, what is the difference between double equal to and single equal to? Then we will discuss the pre-increment and post-increment, that is I plus plus, R plus plus I. Similarly, the similar kind is applicable for I minus minus, R minus minus I. And then we will discuss on int main and void main differences. So let's go to code blocks IDE and write a simple program so that you can predict the output, and then we'll learn from that. So let's go to code blocks IDE. So first let's start with the difference between single equal to and double equal to. So I have declared a variable int a equal to 5 and b equal to 4. If a equal to b, I am printing equal, else print of not equal. So can you guess the output for this program? I have declared two variables, a and b, and I am using if a equal to b, print of equal not equal. So will it print equal or not equal? Error. Let me check. So many of you have printed error. Many of you said that equal, not equal. I'm getting all the answers. Okay. So let's see what is wrong with this code. Okay. So we have many types of operators in this. If you are working with equal to and double equal to, there might be chance for getting many confusion. Here the output is equal. So those who have not said not equal, let's discuss how we are getting equal as answer. So even though I put answer as number as 5, I will be getting the same output, that is equal. So irrespective of the number which I am giving here, I am getting the same output. So I have given 5, 4 and 15. So again I am getting equal. So actually what is happening in the backend? Here in this sentence we are assigning the value of b to a. So it means that if this assignment is successful, it will give a positive number. It will give 1. So the value inside this will be 1. It is not 0. It means that we are assigning the value, and if the statement is successful, it will give 1 as the result to this place. That's why this condition is always true irrespective of the numbers given here. So this equal to is assignment operator and not used in the comparison statements. Now I am using double equal to instead of single equal to and running this program. Here I will get the output as not equal. Maybe I can little bit zoom. Here I am getting not equal. So the main difference between single equal to and double equal to is single equal to is used to assign the right hand side variable to the left hand side, but double equal to is used to compare two variables. Mostly in if conditions we will be using the double equal to. In case if you find anything like this, it won't give error. It will be logical error. It won't give any compile error. So in this case it will be always true. You have to use double equal to. In simple words, if you want to say the difference between single equal to and double equal to is single equal to is an assignment operator and double equal to is a relational operator. You will be using double equal to in condition statements and single equal to assign the variable from the right side to left side. So remember these types of micro differences. So next, as I said, we'll be discussing the another important difference, I++, that is pre-increment and post-increment. So let me declare a variable I equal to 5 and j equal to 5. I have declared two variables and I am going to increment this I++ and I am printing this value. Similarly, I am going to put j++ and printing j's value. So I have declared same value for I as well as j, and I have incremented I, and let's go for the post increment. Okay, so the two part, so I++ and ++j instead of I, just using the variable j. Okay, so can you predict the output for I and j? Maybe I can put I here for easy reference so that it will be easy to understand in the code. So what will be the answer for this programming question? Many of you have typed 6, 5, I equal to 5, 5, 5, 6, 6, 5 and 6, 5, 6. I am getting many answers as 5 and 6 and few answers are 6, 6, 5, 5, 6, 6. Okay, let me execute this program and see the output, and then I will come to explain why it is giving the same answer, that is 6, 6. So here look at the value I equal to 6, j equal to 6. So but actually in the code, if you see, I have used I++, here j++, even the value is same, and many of you have confusion like it's a pre-increment and post-increment, but we are getting same output. Since we are getting same output, then what is the difference between them? So the exact output for this question is 6, 6. It is not 5, 5 or 5, 6. I will explain you why it is. So here the I value we have incremented, and here j value we have incremented, and we are getting one value addition to the given number. That's it. Don't confuse with anything. So there won't be any difference if we use I++ or j++ in a separate statement. I repeat, there won't be any difference between increment and pre-increment and post-increment if you use the statement separately in a code. But the difference is if you assign the variable to some other variable, there comes the difference. So let us check that also. I'm going to declare two more variables to store the value a, b. I'm storing the value of I++ in a and b equal to j++. So let's print this a value, a equal to %d, comma a, and then let's print b also. Okay, so if you execute this code, you will clearly understand the difference. So here I have incremented the value I++ and then assigned it to a. I am printing I value and a value here, then here ++j and assigned to b, and I am printing j value and b value here. So let me execute this program and so that we can understand easily. So here look at the differences. Okay, so I value equal to 6, a value equal to 5 and j value equal to 6. So first I and j are just incrementing by 1. Now look at the value of a and b. Here comes the difference. So in this scenario, I value is first assigned to a and then I gets incremented. That's why the value of a is 5. So in this scenario, the value of j gets incremented first and then assigned it to b. So if I look at the output, you could easily understand. So again I repeat, if you are using I++ or j++, I++ or ++i without any assignment operator, it runs similar, just it will increment as value 1. If you are assigning the value to a or b or some other variable, there will be a difference. So I++ assigns the value to the letter on the left side and then gets incremented. But in case of ++I, it will increment it and then it will be stored. So here is the difference between these two. So I hope you're clear with this. So next let's discuss the one more differences which we have mentioned here. So what is the difference between int main and void main? So whenever the program starts, this compiler checks for the word main and the program starts from the word main and it executes one by one. So this main is a function which is called by the compiler. So we will be discussing the function concept in our upcoming webinars. So main is a function which executes first and the line by line code will be executed after this. So if you are declaring int main, it means that after this execution, this function returns an integer type of value to the compiler. That's why I have used the word return 0. So int main returns the value 0 to the compiler or any integer value. So this return type we are mentioning as int. Similarly, if you put void, this main function is not returning anything to the compiler. So in general, the return type of the main function is either int or void, but by default it will be int, so that we are using the return 0. So void main means the function will not return anything to the compiler. So we will be discussing on the return type, arguments, call by value, call by references in our function topics. So if you watch that video, you will be clearly understand the exact meaning of function, return types and arguments. So as of now, remember int main, if you are using int main, you have to put return 0, and if you are using void main, no need to put any 0. Okay. So these are some of the differences which was asked in a previous webinar, and also there are few questions about the ampersand symbol, that is double and single and. So if you are using the symbol like this, let me type here these two. So actually this single ampersand is a bitwise operator. It will calculate the AND operation between, for example, if you are giving something like this 5 will be converted as a binary number and 4 will be converted as a binary number, and will process the AND operation between these two numbers bit by bit. So single AND is a bitwise operator. This double ampersand symbol is used to compare any two logical condition. If A is greater than B and B is greater than C. We have used this double ampersand symbol in our previous webinar to check the biggest among three numbers. So double ampersand symbol is a logical operator and single ampersand symbol is a bitwise operator. It works on the bit by bit, but double ampersand works on the logical. Mostly we will be using in the if, while or do while conditions. Okay. So these are some of the difference between questions we have discussed, which was asked in the previous webinar. And then now let's move on to our core concept of the day. So today we are going to discuss arrays, and we'll be discussing why we need to use arrays and what is array. Yes, it's a collection of similar data items under a single name, and then we'll discuss the syntax and how to use it. Okay, so let me tell you, let me give an example. For example, if you want to store the number or some process some 10 elements, you can simply use variables. But if you want to check for some 50 or 100 elements, you cannot simply use the variables which you have declared. So let us try to add a simple program. I have declared an int main, and I will remove the codes which we have written here to check. Okay. So I am declaring a variable int a comma b. I am getting the input from the user. I am adding these two variables in C and printing the number C so that I can declare the variable C also. Okay, so simple program just to add two numbers. I'm getting the input from the user and adding those two numbers and printing in the output. So if I click on the output, it will ask for the input 3 and 4. It is giving the answer 7. So consider if you want to add some 10 numbers or 50 numbers or 200 numbers or 500 numbers. So you need to declare 100 or 200 or 500 numbers. Is it possible? No. So what we'll do is, instead of declaring this 100 or 200 or 500 numbers, we will be declaring a single variable and then we will be changing the index. So the question for why we need to use array means we cannot declare 100 or 200 variables. Instead of that, we will be declaring as a group. So as per this definition says collection of similar data items under a single name. For example, if I want to add some 10 numbers, I can declare like this. I can declare anything and I have to get %d up to some 10 or 11 numbers and then address of A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So instead of doing that, what I'm doing is I'm just putting a bracket over here and giving number 10. It means that I can store 10 different values in this AI. That means the first value will be A of 0, second A of 1, A of 2, and it will go up to A of 9. So if you look at the difference between the first variable and the second variable, I'm just typing the code here. So first is A of 0, second is A of 1, third is A of 2, and it goes up to A of 9. So in earlier case we have declared A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, and but now you have declared only A of 10 and the different variables are A of 0, 1, 2, 3. Now what is the difference between first variable and second variable? The difference is only this index number. If you change that index, you will get another variable. If you change the index again, you will get another variable. So here, instead of declaring this many things, I can use %d address of A of 0, something like this. So second variable is A of 1. Let me declare a few things and then we'll replace. So it means this. We are getting the input for A of 0 in the first line, input for A of 1 in second line, third line and fourth line for 2 and 3 respectively. So again we are making the code complicated. So we have declared A of 10. Instead of using a single line code, we are typing multiple lines to get the input. So now look at these differences. The first variable is A of 0, second is A of 1. So only the number is changing. So if you do something to change the number, that is more than enough to get the input. Int I equal to 0, I less than 10, I plus plus. So instead of this 0, I am making it as I and removing the code which is below this one. So let me execute this code and I can command this one and delete this. So it means that while executing this loop, I value will be 0 and we are getting the input. So let me put the address symbol also. So if I put 1, I am getting the second input. If I put 2, I am getting third input. Like that it will go up to 9th input. It means that we are just simply changing this I value and getting the input for all 10. This I value is called the index, and this index always starts from 0 and it goes up to the size of array -1. For example, the size of array is 10 here and the value will be 9 maximum at this stage. So similarly, if you want to print the statement, you can use the printf statement, and I'm just giving %d and a space. I'm just using A of I. So to change the value of I have to put a for loop. I equal to 0, I less than 10, I plus plus. So let's execute this program. So it will expect the 10 integer numbers. We need to enter 10 input numbers, and then that 10 input numbers will be printed here. I typed 6 numbers, 7, 8. Okay, we have typed 10 numbers, and all the 10 numbers are displaying in this output. So very simple. If you want to get the input for 100 numbers, just change the number 100 and 100 here, 100, and it will print output. So no need to declare any 100 or 200 variables. The reason for using I is, if you want to use more than limited variables, you can go for the arrays. So this is the first step in learning arrays. Next, I'm just changing this variable as j, and again this as j, and then printing as j. So I have just made a small modification in the code. While getting the input, I have used the variable I in the index, and while printing the output, I am printing the variable. I'm using the index, I'm using j as an index. So instead of this 10 numbers, let's simplify it to 5 numbers, so that we can quickly type the numbers and get the output. Okay, so the major change I have made is, so in the input I have used the index I as a I variable, and in the output I have used the j variable. So if I execute this program, will it print the inputs which I have given, or will it print any garbage value? Garbage value means the value which is something stored in that memory. So will it print the input which I have given, or it won't print? You can comment yes or no in the comment section. Will it print the same input? So I started to get the answer. Yes, okay, yes. Print the input, yes, no. Okay, I'm getting many yes as an input, sorry, yes as an answer, and only few as a no. No sir, yes, no. Okay. Let's ask this compiler also. What does it say? Okay, so I'm entering 5 numbers. I have entered 5 numbers, and I'm going to press the enter key. I'm getting the output 3, 4, 52, 1, 56. Yes, the answer is yes for this question. Remember, the index value and the array is not related. The I and j is just to increment the number in the index position. It is not related to array anyways. Okay, so whatever the condition is, in the first time we are getting a of 0 here. While printing also we are getting a of 0. So in second time, in the input we are getting a of 1. Here also we are getting a of 1. So instead of using this variable I and j, we can use any variables. Like maybe we'll try that also. Maybe I can put rom equal to 0, rom less than 5, rom plus plus. Similarly, I'm using rom, and then in okay, we'll use okay, Jano equal to 0, Jano less than 5, Jano plus plus, and Jano. You can use like this also. So this index value depends on the number, not on the exact variable. So if I execute this, I will get the same output. So 4, 5, 4, 3, 1. I'm getting the output of this. So there is no link between the variable, index variable and the index. So only the value is important in this case. Okay. So whatever the word you are using, it should be 0 in the first time. Second time it should be 1, 2, and it should go to up to n minus 1. That's it. So in general, we are used to with this int I equal to 0, I less than 5 or I plus plus. So let's change that and we'll discuss the remaining part also. I, and then we'll change this to. Okay. So if you want to print the array elements in the reverse order, you can just make this as 4 greater than or equal to 0 and j minus minus. So if you change this, the last element is printed in the beginning and the first element will be printed in the last. So let me execute this. So I'm entering 12, 34, 54, 23 and 67. So in the output I am getting 67, 23, 54, 34 and 12. That is in the reverse order. The reason for this reverse order is, so while executing this program, the value of j is 4 during the first iteration. So in the next iteration it will decrease and the j value will be 3. So it is printing in the reverse order. So irrespective of the variable, you can control the number given here. Okay, so I hope you are clear with this array index and the array size values. So this one I think we have covered in this part itself, data type, array name and size. So say for example, if you want to go for a float value, you have to use float and then percentage of. Let me go back to basic j++. Okay, so in this case I have declared a float array with 5 as a size, and I am getting the 5 input and printing those 5 elements. So remember, I have not changed the data type of index. Index data type is integer, so I am using the same I and j here. So array index is always start from 0 and it is also an integer value. There is no decimal value in array integer. Something like 1.5 or 1.2 is not there. So 0, 1, 2 up to n minus 1. So if I execute this query, I have to enter the floating point variable 4.5, 3.4. Okay, so let's see the output here. So I'm giving 4.5, 3.4, 2.3, 2.7 and 3.0. Remember, if you are printing the float value, by default it will print 6 digit after the decimal. So if you want to control, you can put %2 in the printf statement and you can control that. So array declare, if you are declaring a float variable, you have to use all the elements as a float variable. You cannot put character in a float array. You cannot put float value in an integer array. So this point says collection of similar data items under a single name. So we have declared data type, array name followed by size, and then we have discussed a simple example over there. Okay, so in our previous program we have just declared the array as the last one, int a of 5, but we have different ways to declare the arrays. So we can declare array size followed by the number in the curly braces, or you can declare an array without any size and give the number itself. So if you are not giving any size, it will consider the size of the elements which you are giving here, and if you give the size, you have to give the number here. Even if you give only 2 elements, the remaining elements will be initialized to 0. So there are 3 different ways of initializing the array. First one, just size, and we will be getting the input from the user. Second one, we are declaring the values directly in the array size along with the size. And third one, we are not declaring the size and declaring only the element. So these are the different ways of initialization. If you get any question something like this, don't get confused. So these are different ways of initializing the arrays. So next we have also discussed about accessing the array elements in the program itself. So access array elements using array index. So even though if you are changing the variables, there won't be any reflection. So you have to careful on the index number. So our index always starts from 0 and it goes up to n minus 1, and it is also an integer variable. So there are some different types of arrays. So in the previous example, we have discussed one-dimensional array, that is, we have discussed one-dimensional, and then we will be discussing two-dimensional array and then multi-dimensional array. So both two-dimensional array is also called as multi-dimensional array. We will be discussing two-dimensional array separately, and then we will be discuss some of the examples for three-dimensional array. So we will be getting questions mostly on one-dimensional and two-dimensional array. We don't go for three or four-dimensional array. So that's why we have focused. You have to go more focus on two-dimensional array. So next, let's go back to this code block ID and then see how we can declare two-dimensional array. Okay, so I am declaring a variable int a of 3, 3. So in the earlier case, we have given only a of 10 or a of 5. It means that the value starts from a of 0 and it goes up to a of n minus 1. Here I am using two brackets, that is a of 3 and a of 3. It means my first value will be a of 0 and 0. Second, I will be getting a of 0 and then this value will become 1. So a of 0 and then this will be 2. So similarly, for the next, I will be getting 1 0, 1 0, sorry 1 1, 1 2, and then the third line I will be getting 2 0, 2 1 and 2 2. So I have declared a variable, declared an array of 3, 3. It means that we can store 9 elements. So you can multiply the array size, 3 into 3, 9. I can store 9 elements in this array. So in the earlier case, if you want to store 9 elements, you have to declare a of 9. Now it will be in a two-dimensional. So 0 0 will be the first element's name and 2 2 will be the last element's name. So look at this. First, this value is getting increased, 1 and 2. Next, this 1 is increased and 0 is, and again it is starting from 0 1 2. So row and column value are changing as per the table I have displayed here. So if you want to access the elements in two-dimensional array, you need to use two indexes, that is index for row and another index for column. So row index we need to use separate variable, and column index we have to use another variable. Otherwise we will be getting 0 0, 1 1 and 2 2. So let's type the code for that to get the input. So we will be using a statement scanf to get the input. I am using %d since it is integer. So I am going to get the element for I and j. So this is the statement which we are using to get the input. So I will put the for loop for I and j. So for int I equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus. The another for loop in j equal to 0, j less than 3, j plus plus. So I will give the tab for this scanf so that it will be in alignment. So if this executes first, the value of I is 0 and the value of j is 0. So it will get the input for this element. And during the second iteration, I value will remain 0 and j value will become 1. So it will be 0 here and 1 here. So we will be getting the input for this second element, a of 0 and 1. Similarly, for the third iteration, I value will remain 0 and j value will become 2. So we will be getting the input for the third element. So once this is over, this condition will fail and the outer loop will start executing once again, and I value will become 1 and j value will be 0 while entering into this loop. So we will be getting the 1 0, and similarly it goes on for 1 1, 1 2, 2 0, 2 1 and 2 2. So this is a simple way to get the array as input. So remember, if you are using one-dimensional array, you need at least one for loop to iterate to the index and get the input. And if you are using two-dimensional array, you need at least two loops to get the inputs. So I'm going to use the same for the printf also, and just change the number. I'll be using this slash, and I'm removing this address. So in this example, I have declared an array with 9 elements, that is 3 cross 3, and getting 3 elements and printing all the 3 elements. So I'm just going to comment this line for the execution. So since this is a matrix array, I'll be giving the input in the form of matrix 3, 4, 5, and I'm giving 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 6, 5, and 3. So what will be the expected output for this program? If I type enter, I'm getting the answer in a single line, but the values are correct. I have given 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 6, 5, 3 as the input. I am also getting the output 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 6, 5, 3, but it is printed in a single line, not as per the matrix order. So in general, for two-dimensional array or any matrix program, you have to print the output in the matrix order. So how to print that? We have to use /n, but where to use that /n? So we need to print a next line after each row. So it means that we have to print /n after the execution of inner loop. So I'm putting, so maybe I can use this bracket here for clear understanding. Okay, so here earlier we have used only two loops, for loop and just a printf statement. I'm adding in one more printf line, that is print n. This printf /n is not for this inner for loop, actually it is for this outer for loop. So in outer for loop we are having, this is the first statement and this is the second statement. Once this for loop execution is over, it will print the next line, and then it will again start the iteration of the outer for loop. So if I execute this program now, even though I am giving the even though I give the input in a, maybe I can give it in a single line. I'm getting the output in the matrix format. So remember, if you want to print it in the matrix format, you have to use an outer for loop, and in that for loop you need to use an inner for loop along with the printf statement, and this printf statement is to print the number one by one. Make sure you are not putting any brackets. Even though if you put bracket, it will be okay. Let me show that also. Sorry. It should be something like this. Okay, so it means that inside this for loop you should have only one statement, but inside this for loop you can have a for loop and a /n to print it in the matrix formats. Okay, so we'll remove, okay, let us keep this. So this is the simple way to get the input and output. So next I'll be deleting this code so that we can easily use a simple code. So here let us change this variable to some k, and then I'm just using a is array name, we should not use that. I'm using the b, and k b. I'm commenting this line. Okay, so I have just modified the scanf statement to int k equal to 0, k less than 3, k plus plus, b equal to 0, b less than 3, b plus plus. I'm using k and b instead of I and j. So will this work? The same thing which we have discussed with the one-dimensional array. I we have replaced with j, or even we have replaced with Ram and Janu, and now we are replacing with k and b instead of I and j. So this code will work. So there is no link between the array variable and the index number. So again, this code will work here. So let's move on to the next one, that is multi-dimensional array. We'll modify this code. Okay, so I'm just reducing the number so that no need to type many numbers. So I'm just making it as 2, 3, 2. I'm just giving a multi-dimensional array. So it means that in this variable we can store 2 into 3 into 2. So we can store 12 numbers. If you want to get the input for this program, you have to use the scanf with 3 index numbers. For int I equal to 0, I less than 2, I plus plus, int j equal to 0, j less than 3, j plus plus, int k equal to 0, k less than 2, k plus plus. So in the scanf, address of a of I, j, k. So it means that we are getting the input for 0, 0, 0 in the first time, and then we are getting the input for 0, 0, and this value will become 1. So next time we are getting the value for 0, this will become 1 and this will be 0. So we are having 2, 3 and 2. So similarly, if you want to print the statements, you have to use the 3 set of for loops. Print of slash n. I'm removing this address symbol. So since this is a 3-dimensional, so we cannot print the 3-dimensional in the screen. So we have to imagine a 3-dimensional. So anyhow, I'm just getting the number and just printing it. It's not in the order like matrix. So here it will expect for 12 inputs. So let's type that 12 inputs. So I have typed 12 inputs and it is just displaying this. So it is similar to that of 2-dimensional array and 1-dimensional array. So the reason behind is we will be giving 3 brackets, or we can give 4 or 5, whatever it is. You have to use 3 different index variable to increment or decrement. So 2, it will go up to 0 and 1, and it will go up to 0, 1, 2, 3, and this will go up to 0. So make sure you are giving the proper number here. Don't give all 3's in the multi-dimensional loops. So 2 is here. The first loop belongs to this one, second loop belongs to this 3, and the third loop belongs to 2. So like this, that this 3-dimensional array will be working. You will be getting some of the MCQ questions in this 3-dimensional array in your campus recruitments. Like last year, if you are attending any service companies, there are many. We have got a feedback from many students saying that we have got questions from 3-dimensional arrays. So this 3-dimensional array, you won't get any much programs, but you will be getting MCQ question. So we suggest you to practice few programs and try to print a particular value in this program and get comfortable with this 3-dimensional array. So in general, if you are comfortable with the basic array concept, you have to work on these few programs which will be asked frequently in campus recruitments. So first thing is sort the given array in different format like ascending order or descending order, and then next you will be getting questions based on this 2-dimensional concept like matrix addition, subtraction or multiplication, transpose, identity matrix, etc. So the basic for all 1-dimensional array and 2-dimensional array is based on these two programs. So let's take this simple matrix addition program, and then I will explain how to get the addition of two matrix in a simple way. So we are going to add two matrix. So matrix of size A, 3 and 3, and the second matrix name is B, and the result will be stored in C matrix. So earlier we have used to find the sum of two numbers, that is A plus B equal to C. So there we have declared only A comma B and store the result in C. Similarly, you are declaring two arrays A and B and storing the answer in C. So declare the size. Now the step is, you need to get the first step. Let me delete this and type here so that we can easily comment. Get the input for A matrix. Second, get the input for B matrix. Third, add two matrix. Print C matrix. So this is the 4 steps which we need to do this in this program. So you know, if you want to get the input for two-dimensional array, we need to use two for loops. So for int I equal to 0, I less than matrix size I plus plus. Next, for int j equal to 0, j less than 3, j plus plus. So scanf, get the value for A matrix, address of A of I and j. So we have completed the first step in this. Get the input for A matrix. So we have used the input statement and got the input. Now we need to get the input for the second matrix. So I'm just copying the code and pasting here. Okay, so I'm just changing the variable, array variable name is j. So I'm not changing the index number. So we have discussed about this index in the previous slide itself. So the second step is over. Also, before going to third step, let us complete the fourth step and then we'll come back to third step. So this fourth step is just to print. So I'm giving the space and I'm going to print the C matrix. So I'm just changing the variable. So we have discussed about printing the two-dimensional array in matrix format in the previous example. So I'm just following the steps. /A. Okay, so in this program we need to do 4 steps. We have completed step 1 and step 2 and also step 4. So step 1, getting the input for A matrix, step 2, getting the input for B matrix, and step 4, displaying the output. Okay, so now let's go to third step. In general, if you want to add two matrix elements, we need to add the first element of A matrix with first element of B matrix. That is, the position should be same. So we have to add A of 0 0 with B of 0 0, and similarly A of 0 1 with B of 0 1, and it should go up to A of 2 2 plus B of 2 2. So let's write the code for this. Since anyhow we need to navigate from 0 0 to the end value, I'm just copy pasting the loop for easy. Now we need to add A of 0 0 plus B of 0 0, and the result should be stored in C of 0 0, right? Okay. So next time, while if it executes, it should print 0 1 plus 0 1 of similar value. So what shall we do is we can just replace this again with I and j. So that's it. Okay, so while during this first time execution, the I value and j value will be 0. So 0 0 plus 0 0 of B matrix will be stored in C of 0 0. Similarly, during the second iteration, it will go up to second iteration, it will go 0 1 0 1, and then last iteration it will go up to 0 0. So this is the 4 steps which we need to follow to do the matrix addition. Getting the input from the user, we need to follow 2 steps, and printing the matrix, and then one additional step is to add 2 matrix. So let's execute this program. What is the error in this? So I forgot to give a semicolon. Okay, I forgot to command this also. Okay, so let's give the input. Let's keep it simple. This is the input for the first matrix. Now I'm going to give the input for second matrix. 2 3 2. For the understanding purpose, I'm just changing the value of last number as 7. So the output is printed here. So here first 3 lines are the input for input of matrix A, second 3 lines are the input of matrix B, and last 3 lines are the output of A and B. So 1 plus 2 is 3, 1 plus 2 is 3, and if you check the remaining numbers, it will be printed as it is. So friends, in many of the programs you would have seen, I have not used any additional printf like this. Maybe let me explain that also. So for example, for the clear benefit, what we will do is, in general, we will put a printf before this, and we'll ask enter A matrix. Then before this we will be putting enter B matrix. Let's put /n also, and then we'll be putting /n here, and finally he will be printing result is. Okay, so in general, while doing program, you will be putting something like this. So if I execute this program, you will get a clear output structure so that you can enter easily. 1 2 3 3 2 1 3 4 5, and again it will ask for the second matrix. So 5 6 1 1 2 3 4 5 0. The result is, it is printing the addition of these 2 matrices. So actually, in offline IDE like code blocks or Turbo C, we will be doing all these type of activities. But in terms of IT service or product company recruitments, you should not use these types of printf statements. You have to use what is exactly given in the input format and what is exactly asked in the output format. You should not use unwanted printf before the input or the output. So we are suggesting you to practice the programs in online compiler, not in the IDE, for clearing the campus recruitments easily. So if you see any online compiler or any coding challenges, there won't be any statements like this: enter the first matrix, enter the second matrix, the result is like this. So there won't be any additional unwanted input statements or output statements. You have to get the input as mentioned in their input format, and you need to print the output as mentioned in their output format. So make sure you don't use any unwanted printf or scanf in the campus recruitment test. Use what is exactly asked. So similarly, if you can convert this addition program into multiplication program by just changing these logic. So no need to change any of these logics. You are getting the input for A and B matrix, and you are printing the C matrix. If you want to convert it to multiplication program, just change this logic. So for matrix multiplication, you have to work on some logical calculation, like this matrix addition you are adding first element to the first element, but in matrix multiplication it is different. You have to check the row and column values and you have to multiply accordingly. So you have to use 3 loops, and if you try your matrix program and get comfortable with this 2D array concept and multiple loops. Okay, so we have discussed one program which was asked. Actually, it is not asked. The chance for asking the matrix addition is very less, but this is the basic for all 2-dimensional array questions. Okay, so in case if you are from a non-IT or non-circuit branch, you may get this question in your interview. So the interviewer may ask you to write a logic to add 2 matrix or logic to multiply 2 matrix. You will be getting this type of question in your technical interview section. So next, let's move on to the another related concept to the array, that is pointers. So you may get a questions like, what will you get as output if you print array name in the printf? So I'm not going to the pointer itself. Before going to pointer, I will ask you a question like this. So let me change it to 1-dimensional array for simplification to typing. So I'm removing all the codes of this matrix, also removing this algorithm. Okay, so I'm putting a simple printf statement without anything. I'm just using, okay, let me use %d and then I'll print here. So in our examples we have discussed a of 0, a of 0, 0, a of 0, 0, 0, etc. But we have not discussed anything about a. What will happen if you print array name in a printf? So will it print anything or will it give error? Okay, so I'm executing this program to get, it is printing some number. What is this? It is printing, is it garbage value or is it any other number? Okay, let me change this code. Instead of %d, I'm changing it to %p. I will explain why I have changed it to %p. And I'm getting some hexadecimal number here. 0060 FED8, something like this. Okay, so what will happen if I print %p a plus 1? So let's give some space for the clear output, and I'm putting something like this. So we have declared up to 10 so that we can print some 5 numbers without any issues. 2, 3, like this. So what will be the output for this program? Will it print anything or will it give anyhow we have seen something. It will print some values, it won't give errors. So I'm executing this program and see the numbers which is printing here. So let me zoom this. So first it is printing 00 FED8 and then it is printing FEDC, FEE0, it is printing some numbers. So these numbers are address. So simply remember, array name stores the address of that particular array. So we will be discussing about this after discussing the pointer concept. So remember one thing with this screen, if you give a, it will print the starting address of the array. Array name is nothing but it is a starting address of array. It means that it is a pointer variable. Let's go back to slide and discuss what is pointer and how to link this array name with the pointer, and we'll come back to this. Okay, so what is pointer? So pointer is a variable that stores the address of another variable. It's simple. So int a is a variable. Int a of 3,3 is a array. So if you declare int star a, it means that a is a pointer variable and that will be used to store the address of another variable. You cannot simply store anything in the pointer variable. So here, let me erase this code. If you declare int a, it is a variable. If you declare star a, it is a pointer variable. So in this case, if you declare it as a, you can something store like this, a equal to 5. But if you declare it is a pointer variable, you cannot store a equal to 5, because this a is a pointer variable. You can use this pointer variable only to store the address of another variable. Okay, so that's why this definition says the pointer is a variable that stores the address of another variable. So we will be discussing this pointer example with this simple program. Okay, so here I have declared a pointer variable integer variable a and a pointer variable p. I have assigned this address of a to this pointer variable. So I am not assigning the value of a to the pointer variable p. I am assigning the value of a's address to the pointer variable p. So don't look at this printf statement, just look at this statement. I will type this code also. I have typed this code earlier, so let me copy from this and let's use this code here. Okay, so I'm just commenting this line. So I have declared a variable a equal to 100 and I have declared an pointer variable in star p, and I am storing the address of a in the pointer variable. So assume the address are some hexadecimal number, and let's take this value as a reference now. So I have declared a variable a with the value 100, and I have declared another variable p, and I am storing the address of a with the p. So let us assume the address of a is something like this. FEFC is a hexadecimal number. In general, you will be getting some 6-digit number like 6068, something like this. So now FEFC I have given here. So in this statement I have assigned the address of a. What is address of a here? Address of a is FEFC. I have assigned that to the value of p. So it means that this value is assigned to this p value. So again, p is a variable, so it will have some address. So like ordinary variable, pointer variable is also having some address. If I assign p to another variable, this FEF8 will be assigned to the another variable. So we will be discussing the 3 or 4 variables in our next slide, but in this slide we will be discussing only one integer variable and one pointer variable. So you might be having something doubt like why we are using %d, %p and something like this. So if you are going to print an integer, you can use %d. For if you give %b, it will print the number in a hexadecimal value. You can use integer, but sometimes if the values goes beyond the integer limit, it will be printing in the minus. So in this compiler, the size of integer is 4, so you don't get any minus value. But if you are printing with a 32-bit compiler, if you use %d instead of %p, the integer limit will be exceeded, so you'll be getting some minus values. That's why we are printing it in a %p, that will printing in the hexadecimal format. So maybe you can simply remember, if you want to print the pointer variable, use %p. Okay, so because the reason, if you use integer, it will go beyond the limit, but in backend the pointer is also integer. Okay, so let me keep this name and value at the corner of this slide, so that I will open code blocks IDE parallelly and we can discuss on that. So maybe I will reduce the size of this. Okay, so look at this. Here I have declared the variables, and let me uncomment this. So here in the first statement I am printing the value of a, that is %d, and giving the value of a. So this is the very simple and straightforward statement. So it will print the output as 100. There is no issues. So next I am printing the address of a by putting the symbol. So remember, we were using the ampersand symbol in the scanf earlier, but now we are using this ampersand symbol in the printf statement. So if you use ampersand symbol in the printf statement, it will take the address of that particular variable. So here we are printing the address of A. So address of A is, in this scenario, it will print FEFC. It is here. Maybe it is not moving to the PowerPoint. So address of A is FEFC. So in the third statement, I am printing the value of P, that is P. Now FEFC is stored in the pointer variable P. So it will print P, and if you print the address of P, it will print FEF8. So I hope you are clear with this 4 basic statement. The first statement prints the value of A, that is 100. Third statement prints the value of P, that is FEFC. And second and fourth statement prints the address. I have given ampersand symbol here. So it will print the address of both A and P variable. So let me execute this program and check the output here. So let's compare this with our output. Okay, so the value of A is 100. So as per our tabular column, which is displaying in the slide top right corner, you can check the value. So I have used only last 4 digits, so we are getting the same output. The address of A is FEFC, value of P is FEFC, and the address of P is FEF8. So if you put address, it will print the address of particular variable. So don't get confused if you see ampersand symbol in the printf statement. So before going into the next multiple variable concept, let me display one more thing also, so that you will understand the value in that particular address. Value in P is, so let us command this line. So value in P is, I'm just using %d, and I'm giving star P. So we have discussed, if you give only P, it will print the value in P, value of P. If I give star P, it will print the value in P. What is the value in that particular address? So as of now, we are having the value as FEFC. What is the value inside this FEFC? So the value inside this FEFC is 100. So if I execute this program, I will get 100. Okay, so for clear understanding, I will retype this statement with 3 different statement only with the variable P. So here I have typed 3 statement. Instead of this putting this statement, let's put the variable type itself, star P. I will change this to ordinary variable, and then this one will become address of P. I'll be putting this to this. So I'm just printing 3 different forms of P. One is value in this particular address, then this address value, then address of this address. Okay, let me execute this program to see the output. Okay, so we have not used the /n properly, and we have used %d to print the address, so it is giving some confusion. Okay, now it will be clear. Okay, so look at the statement. If you are printing P, it will print FEFC. If you are printing star P, it will take the value inside this particular address, and if you are printing address of P, it will print the next address. So in the PowerPoint, you can also check the values here. So it is FEFC, correct? Value in this FEFC is 100, address is FEF8. So the reason for not using this %d in the pointer variable is it will give some integer value difficult to read. So since I have used the hexadecimal code here, so if I use integer there, it will get confused. But remember, if you use %d in the pointer variable declaration, sometimes it will go to the negative value and you cannot easily identify what is happening in the backend. But in backend, it will be stored as an integer only. There is no need to do any percentage p or percentage d confusion. Okay, so with this we will be moving to a little bit complicated program in this pointer, and that is this one. Okay, so maybe you can take a pen and paper to write the values. Anyhow, we will be displaying the codes and we will be printing the different combinations of star star p, star q, star star r, star ampersand p, q, or like this. So I will just hold in this slide for 2 minutes, maybe few minutes. You can take a note and write this, put the table column and write the value here, so that it will be easy to follow in the upcoming slides. I will be going to code blocks ID parallelly and display these values in the corner so that we will understand. So I suggest you to take a pen and paper and fill this value based on this. I have given the address of these particular variables. Earlier we were discussing only 2, and now we will be discussing with 4 variables, and we are storing the pointer variable in another pointer variable. Okay, so I hope you have taken the pen and paper. So let me explain this program in the meantime. Okay, so I have declared the variable int a equal to 100 and declared 3 pointer variables, int star p, star star q, star 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 r. It means that we are storing the address of pointer variable in another pointer variable. So here we are storing the variable a in first pointer variable, and we are storing the pointer variable p in q, and again q in r. So if you want to store the address of one pointer variable, you have to go for double pointer. Similarly, if you want to go for the double pointer, you have to go for the triple pointer. Okay, so I hope you are clear with this basic assignment value, and then let's move on to the code blocks ID to discuss on this. So what will be the value if you fill here? So this is the value if you fill here. So here we have declared as 100, so this 100 will come here, and next we have assigned the address of a to p. Address of a is FEFC, that will be stored as a value in p, and then next address of p will be stored in the q, that is FE, will be stored here, and address of q is stored in r. So this is the table column after this assignment. Okay, so I have also put a simple table column in the right top corner, so that we will be moving to the code blocks ID to refer the address and compare our output. Okay, so let's go to code blocks ID and delete the. I have also typed this code since it is many lines. Let's discuss this one by one. Don't get confused with all these lines. Okay, so let me comment the second part of the statement, and we'll be discussing only the first part. Okay, so these values are here. I'll just minimize this window to get comfortable with this. So the same value I have assigned here. So what is the output for, what should be the output for these codes? Okay, so a 100 p, this value, so I have given a p q r, and I'm just printing the value. So for this 4 lines, we have divided the code into 4 lines. So you can type the output for these 4 lines in the comment section. Even if you are not comfortable typing all the letters, you can just type the last letter for these 4 statements. You can type FC or F8 or F4 or 100. So just type your answer in the comment section for these 4 printf values. Don't see the print value inside these codes. See the value given here, not inside the codes. So it might be some printing statement. So look at this variable and type your answer. So you can refer the address given in the top right of the PowerPoint. That is the address we are going to use in this program. 100C84. Okay, fine. So I hope I'm getting the correct answer. 100C84. Okay, 100C84, 0C84. Okay, 100 FC F8 F4. Okay, correct. So I hope you are clear with the first step, that is value of A, value of P, value of Q and value of R. So it is printing the value 100 FEFC, FEF8, F84. So I think you are all clear with this. So if you print this only letter, you will be getting something like this. Now I am commenting this part and I uncomment this second set of statements. So here I am printing the address of A, P, Q and R. So since it is address, I am using all the P. I have used address of A, address of P, address of Q, address of R. So what will be the output for these 4 print statements? So again, you can print the last few characters of the address. So for the second set of printf, you can answer in the comment section. It is address of A, address of P, address of Q and address of R. So this will be very simple if you refer the above table. So I think I am getting the answer for the second set of print statements. C840. C840, yes, correct. Okay. FC F8 F40. Okay, good. Okay, so I hope you are clear with the value and address. Now I am commenting this and let's open the third set of statements. In the third set of statements, I have used star A, star P, star Q and star R. So similarly, refer the above table and type your answer. Let me see how many of you are answering correctly for this set of statements. If you have answered correctly for this, I can understand that you have clearly understood this concept. So you can stop answering for second set of printf and I suggest you to answer for the third set of statements. For third set of statements, I am getting different answers like 100, 100, 100, FC84. First garbage 100, FCF8, 100. Okay, one student has Karthik has typed error. Good, Karthik. All 100. So I got only one comment as error message, as there is an error in the first statement. So look at this statement, star A. It means that we are printing the value inside that particular address. So R value, what is the value we have printed in this statement for R? So for R we have printed FEF4. What is the value inside this R? It means that we have to check the address and value inside that. But if you look at this A is an ordinary variable. There is no other variable inside that A. So you have declared A as an integer variable and not a pointer variable. So if you try to run this code, you will be getting an error message. So let me run this code and see. So here it is an error. So I can't scroll down. So since A is an integer variable and we are trying to address of that integer variable, it will print the error. So we cannot use this statement. So I'm just commenting that statement. So if you have answered 100 garbage value, something like this, remember you are printing the address of integer variable. There is nothing exists like this. So it will give error for the first statement and you will get the output for the remaining set of statements as it is. So after commenting this, let me execute this program and check whether the error is there or not. So now it should print the value in this address P, value in address Q and value in address R. So I just keep this near this one. So value in P is 100. So value in P address is 100. Value in Q address is FEFC. Sorry. Second, value in R is FEF4. So remember the difference between ampersand and this address symbol. So I hope you are clear with the first three set of statements. Now the real challenge comes in the third one. That is last one. So there is no error in the last set of three statements. So I have given the combination of star star R and star star address R, star address Q. So try to answer this last set of three statements and you will be clear with this pointer concept. So refer the table as I said earlier in the top right corner and give the answer for R. So C4 8D, I'm getting some answer. So I'll be getting different answer for this question. Let's see. FE, FC, F88C, okay, C800, 100, C4, I'm getting multiple answers, 100, 100, 100, C, FE, FC, 100, 8C, C8C. Okay, so let me run this program and you can verify this answer and I will explain you why it is printing something like this. Okay, so I have also executed the program and displaying the exact output. You can refer the output, you can refer the table in the top right corner and you can compare your answer. So check whether you are getting the same output or not. You can verify your answer. So maybe you can compare your answer with this and type whether you got the correct answer or not. If it is correct, you can type you got correct, and if it is wrong, you can understand while I am explaining. So let's wait for a few minutes so that many of the students are trying to answer this question. So C88, many students have typed C800 also, but many of you have typed C88, that's good. Okay, so let me explain you quickly. So first take this R value. So what will be the output if you print only R without any star behind this? Okay, maybe I will remove this also. Maybe I will close this and we'll go. So we had a star here. We had star here. I'm just removing this. So what will be the output if I print only R? You know, FE, F4 will be the output if I print only R. So what will happen if I print, if I put star before this R? It means that value in FE, F4. What is the value in FE, F4? It will print FE, F8. Now I am putting one more star here. So the value in this FE, F8, FE, F4 is FE, F8. And now what is the value in FE, F8? So value in FE, F8 is FE, F6. So you have to go from the back, that is R value, then take the star and then put star one value. So you will be getting this output. So for the next scenario, if you are getting this star and ampersand symbol near to one another, so you can simply remove this. Okay, so I will execute this program, and that will be easy for you to understand. So here, look at the statement. Star star address of R. So we are getting the output FE F8. So I'm just replacing this star. I'm just deleting this star and address, and check whether I'm getting the same output or not. So I'm getting the same output. So if you are having a star and address, you can simply ignore that. Now compare the third output. If you are having star and address, again you are having star and address. You can simply ignore this one star and one address, and again this next set of star and address. So final output will be only Q. So what is the value of Q here? FE F8. Okay. Okay. So next, some of the basic concepts in the pointer concept is, if you want to use the integer variable, you have to declare an integer pointer, and if you want to use the float pointer, you have to use float, and if you want to use the character, you have to use character pointer, something like this. We have declared all the integer variables. If you want to use float A, you have to use the float pointer. Similarly, you should use float here. So to store the address of integer, you have to use the integer pointer. To store the address of float variable, you have to use the so the data type should be matching. So for integer variable, you have to use integer pointer. For float variable, you have to use float pointer. But remember, the address is always integer. You cannot say the address which we have got, that is FE, FC, FE, FD. These are all the things or integer variables we have printed in the hexadecimal format. There is nothing like FE, FC dot 3.1 dot 5.7, something like this. So address is always integer. But if you want to store the address of floating variable, you should use the float pointer. But remember, address is always integer. That's the we have to given here. Address is always integer. The data type of the pointer and the variable must match with each other. So with this, we'll be going to the array name as a pointer variable. So, and then we'll be discussing the pointer arithmetic briefly. So I have declared int a of 5 and printf %p, which we have left in the beginning of this pointer topic. So I'm just printing the a value here, and I'll be getting some address here. FE, I'm getting FEEC. So let me put some lines here, and I'll be printing the value of a plus 1 plus 2 plus 3. So if I execute this code, you could see, maybe I'll put it in the /n so that it will match with our printf statement and you will understand it clearly. Okay, so look at this. I have printed a here. So remember, the name of array holds the starting address of that particular array. So name of the array here a, it stores the starting address of the array. So if I give a plus 1, it is not incrementing the address value to 1. It is incrementing 4 bytes. If you look at the second, third and fourth output, you could see this value is 0 and this is 4 and this is 8. We are not getting 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. So it is incrementing 4 values. It means the size of integer is 4 in this compiler and it is incrementing 4 bytes. This is called pointer arithmetic. If you put integer variable and if you are adding +1, it means that it will go to the next address. Array elements will be stored in the continuous address, that is sequential address. So if you put +1, it will be going to the next address. It won't increment this value. It is not just our ++1 or a++. Also, you cannot use a++ or ++a in this array. You have to use a+1 or a+2. So pointer arithmetic defines like this. Maybe I will change this integer to double type and let me execute this code. Let's see the output which we have got here. So look at the output here. The size of double is 8 bytes. So we are getting 8 0 8 0 like this. So pointer arithmetic means if you are adding 1 to any pointer variable, by default it will add the size of that particular variable. So for integer case it will be adding 4 bytes. For double it is adding 8 bytes. Similarly, if you declare as a character, it will take 1 bytes, and if I execute this, I will be getting this value like this. So here FB, FC, FD and FE, it is incrementing 1 bytes. So the size of data type will be incremented if you put some arithmetic operation with the pointer variables. So array name is a pointer, and this pointer arithmetic is something different than basic arithmetics. So before going to frequently asked question, let me tell you one simple program using pointer and array concept. Int a of I for int I equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus, scanf, I'm going to get the integer. So in earlier case we will be using something like this, a of I to get the value, and let me copy this code for printing statement. This is the concept with pointer with arrays. I'm just printing a of I by using the printer statement. These statements we have discussed earlier. I'm just getting the 5 integers from the user and printing this. Let me execute this program and check if there is any error. So 4 5 6 7 4, I'm getting all the answers, so no issues. Okay, so now I'm going to make this as a pointer based array program. So here what will be the value at this place? We are getting the value and storing it in the address of a of 0 for the first time, address of a of 1 for the second time. So as I said, array name is an address. So instead of giving address of a of 0, we can simply give a plus I. It means that we are storing the received input in address, and this I value is 0 now, and we will be getting the next arithmetic, and based on the pointer arithmetic we will be storing the next element in next memory location. So instead of this address of a of 0, I am just replacing the statement like this. Let me execute this statement and check whether I am getting the same output or not. I am getting the same output as address of a of 0. So you can use this type of statement to get the input also. Let me change this also. So we have discussed about the value in the address. So I am using value in this address concept with the pointer array. So instead of address of a of 0, a of I have put a plus plus. Instead of a of I am just putting star a of I. It means that I have missed one bracket here. Okay, so I'm getting the value of a of I, value in this a of I. So if I execute this program, I'll be getting the same output what we have discussed with the first scenario. So we are getting the same output. So if you see some code like this in your program, don't get confused that we need to use address symbol in the scanf, and we should not use any other symbol in the printf like this. So in printf you can use address symbol star to print the value in. Similarly in scanf, without using the address symbol also you can get the input from the user by using this pointer concept with pointer with arrays. So try to do some programs, or we have discussed matrix addition program. You can use this concept for two-dimensional array and try to execute the program without address of a of I, j in the scanf statement. You will be getting clear idea about this pointer statement. Maybe you can search how to add two matrix using pointers and you will be getting all these questions. Okay, so with this we will be moving on to some of the frequently asked questions in IT service company, and maybe you can quickly answer these questions. I think first few questions are very simple so that you can easily answer this. So consider the statement int of 2 and 4, sorry, size of array is 8, that is 2, 4. We are given, declare the variable here. 4 will be the value of which location. So we have declared 8 numbers and 4 will be the value of which location. You can type something like 0, 0 or 0, 1, 0, 1, 5, 1, something like this. So 04 is the location. I got the answer from Sri. 03 is another answer. 03. 03. I'm getting 03 from many students. 22, 12. Now I'm started to getting different answers. So many of you are typing 03. Yes. This will be 00. 01, 02, and this will be 03. Simple. So array index always starts from 0 and it goes up to n minus 1. 00, 01, 02 and 03. So the value is 03. Good. Many of you have answered correctly. Next, it's a three-dimensional array based question. You will be getting these type of questions in a written test during IT service companies, so that carefully look at the numbers and answer it. Int test array 3, 2, 2, and I have declared 12 numbers. 3 into 2, 12. So 3 into 4, 12. And what value does the test array 2, 1, 0 in the sample code above contain? So look at the values defined here and answer it correctly. So 3, 2, 2, 2. Sorry, 3, 2, 2. So I got the first answer from the Karthik, 11. Let's wait for more answer. Yeah, good. I'm getting 11 as the answer from many students. 3, 2, 1, 1, 9, 0, 11, 1. Now I'm started to get many answers other than 11. Okay guys, it is very simple. What is the maximum size of this array? Here they have given 3, 2, 2. So what will be the maximum index value of this one? So this one will be 2 and this one will be 1 and this one will be 1. So array index is always 1 less than the array size. So the test array of 2, 1, 1 will be the maximum size. And what is the number asked here? 2, 1, 0. That is last but one number will be the output here. So don't count the numbers from the beginning. Just look at the alternate ways. So the array size will be 3, 2, 2. So the maximum index will be 2, 1, 1. The question asked is 2, 1, 0. So definitely the last but one number will be the output for this question. So 11 is the correct answer and many students have answered it correctly. So 3, 6, 10 is not correct answer. So the last value will be 2, 1 and 1 will be the last value. But in this case we have given 0. So the last button value will be printed here. So you can rearrange this number in the proper format so that you will get clear idea about this multidimensional array. So the exact output is 11. So next, one more a tricky question. What will be the output for this question? So it's a simple array declaration with 5, and I am printing the array element from 0 to 5. That is, I am printing the 5 elements. Okay, I started to get the answer for next question. I'm getting 5 ones, 140, 140. I'm getting, yeah, many students have started to answer 140. I think you are listening. You have listened when we are discussing about the array initialization. I have mentioned one point there. If you have declared an array of 5 and you have given only one number, the remaining value will be initialized to 0. This point I have mentioned during the previous slide. Good, you have remembered this point, and the answer for this question is 1 0 0 0 0. It means that you have initialized the array value of a of 0 to 1, but by default a of remaining numbers, that is a of 1 2 3 and 4, will be also initialized to 0. So if you print, it will print a of 1, that is a of 0 value as initialized here, and the remaining value as 0, not garbage values. So few students have typed 1 garbage value and then that is 4 garbage values. No, it won't print garbage values. You have initialized one element in the array and the remaining element will be automatically initialized to 0. So the output will be 1 0 0 0 0. So again, what is the output of C program with arrays and pointers? What is the output of C? Okay, so now answer this. So we have discussed with the pointer with array concept and array with pointer concept, whatever it is. So if you answer this question, it means that you have understood arrays and pointers clearly. I have declared an array A with a size variable declared above this, and given a of 0, 5, a of 1, 6, a of 2, a of 3 and 8. So both are %d. So don't worry, it won't print any address. So you can simply answer the value in this. 7 and 6 are the answers I am getting. Yes, you will be getting 7 and 6. Good. You understood the concept clearly. Yes, I am getting all 7 and 6. Good, guys. Let's go to next question, and here is the one tricky one. Okay, so let's see. What is the output of C program with arrays and pointers? I have declared int array with 3 numbers, 10, 20, 30 and a pointer variable. I have assigned the address of that array to the pointer variable. Address of first element is equal to the address of array. So it means that I have assigned the starting address of array to a pointer variable, and then I have declared the variable I. In a while loop, I am just incrementing I and p and printing the value in p. Make sure I have given star p. So look at this code and give your answer. $10, $20, $30 is the first answer I got from Raja. Okay, 10, 20, 30. Okay, good. Many of you have answered correctly. So we are incrementing the pointer. So this p++ means we are going to the next address location. That is, we are pointing to the second element in the array. So we are printing the second element in the array. Good. Okay, so I think this will be the last question for the day. So think it and answer. We have used different increments in I, J, M and A++I. So look at this code. Maybe you can note it on your paper and type the code. So printf, I have given I, J and M. So look at all the changes they are making. We have discussed increment, decrement, we have discussed arrays, we have discussed pointers. all these are combined here, and if you answer this question, we will wind up this session for the day and we'll discuss strings in the next session. So look at the question and understand the statements and answer it. Plus plus a plus plus, I plus plus are there. I value has to be printed, j value has to be printed, and m value has to be printed. So 2 to 3, 2, 20, 2, 20, 1, 2, just give a space between the numbers so that I will understand. 1, 15, 5, 2, 1, 1, 5, 6, 6, no, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Yes, may have you started 2, 1, 20, 6, 5, 6, no. Okay, so I will display the output. Maybe you can reiterate the code from first line to second line, and the correct output is 3, 2 and 15, and think about why it is 3 to 15, and then I will explain you once again. So no one has typed 3 to 15. Many of you have typed 1 to 15, but no one has typed 3 to 15. Okay, I got one answer, 3 to 15 now from Yoga Dharani. Okay, so many students are still typing 2, 20, 20. So understand this problem with the answer I have displayed here. I will before I explain this. So try to check the code and why we are getting 3 to 15 before I explain. Okay. So let me explain this. Look at the first statement here. So I am taking the value of, remember this plus plus will not work with the pointers. Okay, so we are not incrementing any address here. So this pointer arithmetic only works with a plus 1 or a plus 2 or a plus 3. It will not work with a plus plus. Pointer arithmetic, we are not dealing with any pointer arithmetic in this program. It's simple increment and assigning the values. So here I value, what is the value of a of 1? So if you look at the a of 1, the value is 1 here. You are just incrementing the value and storing it in the I. So I value will be 2 now, and this value also stored in this location. It means that plus plus a means we are storing the value in. So I value will be 2 here, and the value in this place will become 2 again. So here. Next, look at this, a of 1. What is the value in a of 1 now? This gets incremented and it is 2 now. The 2 will be stored in the j, and this value will get incremented after assigning it to the j. So we have discussed about the pre-increment and post-increment in this beginning slide. If you have any doubt, you can watch the video from the beginning after this session to understand that. Okay, so the value is 2 and now it becomes 3 here. So I value earlier we have assigned it becomes 2 now, and in the first statement this value becomes 2, and in second statement j is getting 2 and this value becomes 3. Now this 3 comes here, a of 3 comes here, and what is the value in a of 3? Sorry, I value will be 2 in this case. So a of 2 will be printed here. So a of 2 is 0, 1 and 2, and 15 will be printed here. So we just suggest you to execute this code in the program and change this plus plus, minus minus, and this code to execute this. Okay, so understand this I value is getting incremented here 1, and then here there is a 1 plus plus statement. This value will be assigned to a, that is a of 3 will be stored here, and then again it will increment. So if you are having some confusion with the plus plus and a plus plus and I plus plus, we suggest you to watch the beginning of this video and get clear and come to this section later. Okay, so this video will be available in our YouTube channel. So you can, if you have any doubt, many students have asked you to repeat few statements. So you can watch the statement once again after this live seminar. This video will be available in our YouTube channel. You can go to that particular section and watch that particular point once again. Okay, so we have completed the second technical training session, that is arrays and pointers today, and earlier we have discussed branching and looping, and next technical session we will be discussing on strings, so that if you have any questions you can go to our event section and post the questions there. We have created the event for next 15 days so that you can post all your queries in the section for verbal, technical and aptitude. So our team will check those questions before the webinar and answer your questions in that. So if you refresh the page after this webinar, it will be take you to the home page, and that will be there. You can see the reminders for all the events. Click on the reminder and you will get the notification for all the training sessions. So thank you friends, and many students have asked how to practice these tests and questions. For example customers, you can access these tests in your existing login credentials. For non-examly students, you can use the link available here, that is rebrandly/special combo. You will be getting 50% discount on all the test package. That is, you will be getting these tests and you can practice these questions with 50% discount until this lockdown is over. So we cannot predict how the placement training will be for you in the next academic year. So we suggest you to focus more on placement and increase your skills to get placed as soon as the company started with. So thank you friends, see you in the next webinar. If you have any questions, you can post in the comment section of this video, or if you have any questions in the upcoming webinars, you can post in the live comment sections. We will check and answer you. Thank you friends, goodbye, see you in the next webinar.